Welcome to another episode of Fair Faithful Podcast. I'm Brandon Freeney, joined by my co-host Christian Dyer. And joining us tonight is Dion from Niner Gang Podcast. How we doing, Dion?
I'm good. How y'all doing, fellas?
Good.
I'm all right.
Tough loss today.
Very tough loss, man. It's seeing it firsthand is even worse.
Yeah, I know you went to the game today, so I guarantee that was a pretty tough one for you.
It was a hard thing to deal with. Cool thing is that the Cardinal fans weren't being rude about it. They they had the little 5-0 chant, but I mean, hell, it's the first time they've gone 5-0 ever in their franchise history. They have to celebrate that. Like, you look up in their banners, man, and like all you got is the NFC championship and some divisional championships. It's about where it starts and where it stops. You can't expect much else because they've never won the Super Bowl, and that NFC championship game was literally the only one they had. I mean, that's what literally got Kurt Warner into their ring of fame. Because he was the only person who could get them that far. No, they didn't have. Honestly, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I don't know another Cardinal quarterback. I don't.
Outside of the last one I remember is Kurt.
Yeah. I mean, and then the people they dragged off the couch, Carson Palmer and like that. That's really, not much else that they have. They don't have a ridiculously rich history, or honestly, nothing that I know of. Because I mean, Anquan, Larry Fitzgerald. I know they got hype years ago when Emmitt Smith came around, but Emmitt Smith was not there to bring them a championship. He was there to extend his rushing record. That was all he was there for. He could care less about that franchise. That's why Emmitt retired a Cowboy. It is what it is. But yeah, man, let's get the ball rolling. There's so much to unpack and so much to uncover.
Yes, sir. Let's go ahead and start off with what did we think about Trey Lance from beginning to end? Dion, you want to start off?
Yeah. I thought he did well. You know what I mean? Give me a sec. Sorry, I got ESPN over here playing in the background for some reason. I thought he did well, man. From his stats, he was 15 to 29 for 192 yards. And he had that interception. Now, the interception, I saw that. I mean, that ball just sailed on him. He threw that to Ayuk, and that was his fault. He's got to calm down. And I know that's kind of probably nerves because you first get in there and you're like, man, this is crazy. But overall, he didn't look too bad. The issue was just the offense is just inept. And, he looked great running. I mean, 16 carries for 89 yards. That's 5.6 yards a carry. I mean, shit, on any given day, a running back having something like that, you praise him for that, man. But you don't want your quarterback to have that kind of yardage unless it's needed. So the biggest issue was that we are doing everything that we can to make sure that we put him in a position to win, but I really don't feel like Kyle did that. So he did as well as he could for the game plan provided. Honestly, outside of the design runs for Trey, I feel like that was the same offense Jimmy was running. I feel like he did not change that offense much. When I was looking at everything, watching the throws, watching the plays, like no downfield throws, barely outside the numbers, it looked like the same offense Jimmy was running, and Trey is a whole different quarterback. So I don't understand how you do that.
Kyle, man. Just Kyle.
Christian, let's get your thoughts on that.
I mean, I thought Trey looked good. I mean, I thought, he was making plays and extending plays with his legs and making things happen. And, he had some really good throws here and there that, that you'd like to see that shows that, when he's, really is the guy. I think, he can win games. He's young and it's his first start, but he did a lot of things that made me excited. And I thought he did well. I mean, we moved the ball. It's not like it was like when stagnant like we are with Jimmy. I mean, he was moving the ball and getting first downs. And the reason the defense played so well is because they were not on the field much of the game. They were hardly on the field, and we dominated most of the game. Time of possession and stuff, but we couldn't get any points. There's times where we probably could have taken a field goal and it could have made a difference in the game. And then him getting stopped right there at the inch line where, if he's not a rookie, he probably goes a little bit low early and extends the ball to break the thing, but to break the plane. But he makes it's a rookie mistake, not thinking about that, and we don't get it. But he looked good, and with him being a rookie, it's growing pains. Like, that's why I'm not so mad about the loss as I am about the other parts of the game that really frustrated me.
Yeah.
What I took away from it is he had a good game, and if that's his floor, then it's not. I mean, imagine what his ceiling's going to be, dude. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, exactly. I think he did very well too, but I felt with the way Shanahan used him, I was just telling Dion this before we started the show. I feel like he did that on purpose so he can go back to Jimmy after the bye week.
I'm done with him. I'm done with. Sorry.
Yeah, it's all good. No, I know how frustrated you were today, man. I mean, honestly, this offense looked phenomenal today. I feel like even though we couldn't score, I feel like we were on. We won the time of possession today. I mean, you look at the stats. We had more passing yards and rushing yards than the Arizona did. And they're all. I don't know if you heard the commentaries, but they're saying, "Oh no, Arizona's defense did phenomenal today." And I'm like, how? I mean, it's just. I think it was on us making the mistakes that we couldn't get scores. It wasn't the defense doing it.
We beat ourselves. Ourselves.
The terrible play calling on 3rd and short, 4th and short, stuff like that, where we have, should have the advantage on 3rd and short, should be able to get the first down, especially with Trey's quarterback, and we're not getting first downs.
Well,
yeah, but a lot of that fell on Kyle's play calling.
Exactly. That's where I was going with it. The play calling was atrocious.
Because that run with Juice, that was a bad spot.
Oh my God.
That was a horrible spot out of refs because he got that first down clearly. There was nothing that stopped him from being in the right spot. The other thing I will say is I know the players can't complain about it, but I will. The refs sucked that game. They sucked something awful.
Horrible.
I can tell you this from just looking at stuff, man. There were so many calls that were missed. Trey literally gets his helmet ripped off, but there's no call. The actual sack that J.J. Watt got on him, when you look at the replay, it's a horse collar tackle, but there's no call. We got all kinds of penalties called on us for just, crap stuff. It was continuous. Horrible. It was like every play there was a flag, and it was just driving me insane. And I'm thinking to myself at some point, like, bro, you got to give us something. Come on, man. You can't, what's weird is we will be in Levi's and get calls against us on a continual basis. We at home and can't catch a break. So then we come out here to the desert and we still can't catch a break. I'm like, the biggest thing for me is like these refs, they gotta get this together because this is just a continual thing across the league. If Joey Bosa has to come out and complain about the refs and say, like, look, man, I'm getting held on damn near every play. We know Nick's getting held on damn near every play.
Oh, yeah.
We got screenshots today of a galore of him getting held.
And they just didn't care, man. They won't they just look at it like, oh well, we called the game, and it is what it is, And I looked at that, and that was another thing. I didn't like the ineptitude of the offense, and then the other thing is several times we were in field goal range. We just got a new kicker. Why don't we try to kick the field goal? Why are you trying to go for it on 4th? You know what I'm saying? If you have a field goal kicker, I was there. The dome is closed. There is no wind in there. So there's no way in hell you can't make a good 50-yard kick if you got the proper leg. Like, there's no reason. There were several times where, on 4th and 1, we're on a goal line. Why are you running? I mean, why are you throwing? What are you throwing for? You know what I mean? Run the ball. It's what's happening, Hunk Fact? But it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like the play calling was super suspect, bro. And I have to agree with you, man. I honestly think he did this crap on purpose so he can use this as an excuse to go back to Jimmy. And if you did, you wasted our draft capital on a player you didn't want. If you didn't want him, you shouldn't have wasted the draft capital because we got 2 years, no first round pick. And next year we have no first rounder and we have no third rounder because you gave that up to go get a kid you weren't trying to scheme up for success. This offensive game plan was set up for him to fail. And I believe that. And I'm sorry, I'm one of those people, I hold people accountable. It's time to start looking at Kyle.
Yeah.
Because if we have another losing season under him, don't give me this crap about people are injured. And he had the nerve at the press conference to say, oh, we can get some guys back. Get back who? Jimmy and George? George. We all know George going to get injured at some point during the season. We're 49er fans. We know this. We understand it. But
especially with Jimmy being in at quarterback.
Exactly. He threw him the hospital ball and put him on the sidelines. Mm-hmm. So explain to me, and that was another thing that I wanted to touch on. Why you got so much love for a quarterback who don't even text you or call you back? Come on, George. You should be jumping. And the vets did let down Lance. Sanu dropped the ball. You know what I'm saying? Debo dropped the ball. IQ dropped the ball. Yep. What do you guys? How are y'all dropping this stuff, man? You can't make no sense. Debo had 9 targets. He had 3 catches, 3 drops, and the other few passes most likely were stuff he just couldn't get to. But that doesn't make sense. Why are y'all screwing this up for this young rook? Y'all know he need everybody to catch the ball. Yeah, but I'll let y'all talk, man, because I'll go on for days. I have so much.
It doesn't make any sense that Travis Benjamin's in there. We don't ever scheme up anything to go deep over the top with him. And every other time he's in there, he's running like a freaking chicken with his head cut off, not knowing what he's doing. And then half the time, the receivers we got in there don't know what to do in the scramble drill. So poor Lance is extending the play for 14, 15 seconds, and nobody's ever getting open. Like, how are we not having guys come back to him and get open in the scramble drill?
There were so many plays where you can tell that Jimmy would have been sacked.
Exactly.
Lance extended the hell out of those plays.
It was like, I was surprised. Like, why is Juwan Jennings why is he inactive? I'm like, if you want a guy that's going to help, even he's, a young guy, a guy that I think that would really help Lance because he's a good route runner and he's a big bodied guy who's probably going to get open in space when our young quarterback's extending the play. That's the kind of guy I think that Jennings is, and he's not even in. We got freaking Benjamin in there who can't do anything, and then I don't get it. The more you think about it, the more it makes sense that he was set up to fail because of what we were running and what we were doing. And it's like, I thought, in our show we did yesterday, I thought we were going to really, really establish the run game, like fully establish the run game and play out the play action. And we just come out throwing the ball all over the place at first. And I'm like, and running Trey. And I'm like, why are we not establishing the run game? They're the 31st
They're
rushing defense
against the run.
And it's like,
garbage, and they did not stop us today. They had a couple of times where they got into the back, but if we would have stuck with the run and just kept running that ball down their throats, and if he would have been smart, this offensive guru genius he's supposed to be, you mix it up. You give him Trey Sermon, you give him Elijah Mitchell, and you keep giving them both of them. You mix it up. You switch those guys in and out. You know why? Because there's different running styles. It's simple. With Elijah Mitchell, I know I can hit you with a home run. With Trey Sermon, I know I can hit you in the mouth. Like this was not it. And as far as what you say here, right here, Hunk Fat, it's a load of crap. So you purposely set the kid up to fail, and why are you forcing Jimmy down anyone's throat? You know what he is, what he can bring to the table, and it's not getting you a Super Bowl ring here, buddy. You're not going to be a winner with him on the field. He's not going to help you. We lost 3 games in a row. Do you know that? Do you know, does he ever remember against Green Bay that Trey was the one who came in and scored the touchdown, so we didn't go down 17-0? Did he forget that? And you were the one who trotted him on the field, Kyle. So explain to me why you want to go ahead and put him on the sidelines. so he could. What is he going to learn from Jimmy Garoppolo? This isn't a Tom Brady and Jimmy situation. This isn't an Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre situation. Okay, This wasn't Drew Bledsoe and Tom Brady. Like, no, he's not. What is he going to learn from Jimmy? Jimmy don't even like the kid. He don't want to help him. He knows he doesn't. And keep it a buck with you. I can't even blame him for that because I wouldn't. Yeah. They brought you in there to take my damn job. No, I don't want to help your ass. I want you to fail at every turn. I mean, I keep it in the buck, but I don't. But at the same time, if you are a head coach, at the end of the day, I've said this, and I know a lot of people are like, some people are delusional in the league for having these thoughts or delusions of grandeur. At the end of the day, as a franchise, your job is to what? Win Super Bowls. I don't care how you do it. I don't care when you do it. You need to do it. And if you're a head coach, your job is to win games and get to the Super Bowl and win it. Why? So you can keep your job. Because just because being an offensive guru, that ain't going to help you nothing. That just means you really good at calling plays. That doesn't mean you're a head coach.
What frustrates me is like there's I want to go back to Jimmy, but Lance had his first start, and his first start was better than a lot of the other rookies' first starts. For what he had to go deal with and being, playing the only undefeated team and in there, on the road at his first start, he played really well. He had a lot better start than Fields' first start. He
ran all over them too.
Yeah, and he had a better start than Wilson's first start, a better start than Mac Jones's first start. So I'm like, dude, you even had old Niner fans saying he's the worst quarterback drafted in the first round, and he looked like the best one.
Yeah.
Well, besides Lawrence has looked good. He just has nobody. But I mean, like Lance looked good. He looked like to me, I'm like, okay, I understand why we took him third overall. He looks awesome. He's raw, but he looks like what we were seeing with Josh Allen when Josh Allen came in, and look at Josh Allen now. He is freaking amazing. And that's exactly what should happen with Lance, in my opinion, because came in, Josh Allen came out of Wyoming in the same, are they FBS too? Mm-hmm. Yeah. He came in, raw with a powerful arm and can run. That's exactly what Lance is. And, but Josh Allen got time to learn and grow because he got to play, and the team was, and the Bills backed him up and let him play, and it's like, that's what Lance is. I feel like that's what Lance is going to be. I understand why we drafted him third overall. He looks amazing. He looks better than some of the other rookie quarterbacks that I've seen so far. He's got some things to learn, but I mean, dude, he's making some throws that some of these I don't see like Mac Jones making these throws. And it's like people saying he's like the worst quarterback drafted in the first round. I'm like, no, he looks amazing. And then to hear about our coach seems like he doesn't care or doesn't want to defend him and makes a game plan that's not really helping him. I don't get it. Well, like I don't care if we lose every other game. As long if Trey goes in there and starts getting better, I don't care if we lose every other game. He needs to be in there.
Yeah. Hung Fat says thoughts on Kyle going for it on fourth down like 5 times and being 1 for 5 on it.
His play calling.
He did it on purpose. He did it on purpose to let the kid fail. That's what it was. Because he wants Jimmy so bad to be the starter. And he wants to say, hey, look, Trey's out there. Look how bad he's doing. He wants to show the fans. Look bad. But he didn't do bad. Like, how many good? He needs to give the kid the chance, man. Honestly,
how many good drives? Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, real quick. Who's the offensive coordinator? I thought we hired an offensive coordinator to be calling the plays.
Mike McDaniel is not an offensive coordinator. Mike McDaniel was gifted that name by Kyle Shanahan so that he could get himself a job as an OC next year. Everybody knows that Kyle Shanahan calls the plays. He ain't been giving up them plays in a long time. Kyle Shanahan has a very big ego, okay? And I ain't talking, I'm saying anything crazy. But I'm saying that's how he is. He gave him that. Like that's basically, man, that's the homie. You helped him out. You know what I'm saying? That's like me running a company and me giving you 2 VP positions. But you guys really don't do those VP positions. But you know what? After a year, you can go to another company and get more money than you make it for me. Why? Because you had the title. So that's
Yeah,
all
that's
that
true.
is, man. It's just it's a glorified title. He ain't doing nothing. Does he have input? Yeah, of course. I don't think Kyle dreams up these game plans by himself, but he does choose the plays he wants to call. And my thing is you can't sit up there and keep telling people stuff, man, because I'm going to tell you right now, all y'all that was calling for D'Amico Ryan's head, I know y'all look stupid now.
D'Amico Ryan
looks like real dumb.
He looks like the best DC in the game right now.
And there ain't there's no question or guess. How is it that continually the defense goes out there week after week and does their damn job, and then they get screwed and shafted? I'm gonna tell you right now, if I was a defensive player, I ain't talking to nobody on offense. Nobody. Don't talk to me until y'all start scoring some damn points. Don't waste my time. If I'm Nick Bosa and Trey Lance comes over to me, I'm looking at him going, young Rook, I feel sorry because the coach let you down. My bad, bro. We gonna do everything we can to keep getting you the ball back. But it looks like you might have to make some off-schedule plays on your own because he definitely ain't putting you in a position to win. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy, the only thing I saw Jimmy Ward screwed up. He's the reason D-Hop caught that ball.
Mm-hmm.
You get your head around it, you let him beat you out position. Come on, man.
He overran.
That was a dead duck, and that was a dead duck in the air.
Could have picked it off.
You got to go get that.
He could have. Like it could have been picked off.
We got one interception in 5 games. We have one interception in 5 games, and that was our linebacker.
And we don't have no turnovers. That's my issue, man. We can't create no turnovers. It drives me insane because I don't understand how we can't create no turnovers and anything. Oh, hey, man, I appreciate that, Hunt Fat. Yeah, I saw you jump in the chat when I do my own show, man, and I appreciate you, brother. I really do, man. Yeah, I jumped on with Matt, with Zach and Matt, man, and I'm telling you, crazy thing, guys, me and Matt are very similar.
Yeah.
Very similar. Like we are like when I be watching him and he's flipping, I'm like, yo, he's saying the same thing I'm saying. Matt, I need you to get out of my head and calm down. Like it's how it works, but
I'll tell you what, I don't always show it, but of all the guys, I'm probably the one that gets the angriest. I just don't always show it on the screen. You should have seen me in the chat today, dude.
I saw you.
Matt said I needed get a counselor, therapist, or whatever, and I'm like,
bro,
dude, I was so heated.
I needed to take a breather because it just mentally I couldn't wrap my head around why the offensive game plan was what it was and why we could like start moving the ball, but then we just stopped. You know, and the Cardinals defense, I mean, Trey Lance got sacked by nobodies. Nobodies. We don't even know who these dudes are. Like I'll tell you right now, Trey Lance, he was sacked. Okay, it looks like Isaiah Simmons and Tanner Vallejo. First of all, Vallejo was a city in California.
Hey, Isaiah Simmons.
We got Zach Allen. And there was a guy named Zach Allen. Who the hell is Zach Allen? Does anybody know who that dude is? I don't know who he is.
I don't know.
We got sacked by nobodies. J.J. Watt and Chandler Jones didn't even get him. So it's like
that Isaiah Simmons sack was not even a sack. That happened at the
1 yard line.
1 yard line. Mm-hmm.
You guys hear me?
Didn't get it in.
Yeah.
We can hear you. I can't see you though. You frozen.
There you are.
Now you go. Yeah. Now you
go. Hold on.
But I wanted to say too about
having issues.
The problem with the turnovers is we just don't have the defensive backs to get them. I mean, like when we first started the game and Arizona scored on the first drive, they're just go down easily because we're in some kind of zone and just look like a bunch of just idiots trying to hump a doorknob out there. And I'm like, we can't like figure out our, like what we are. Are we a zone team? Are we a man team? And I'm like, well, obviously the zone's not working. We need to start playing man or something. And it's like, they just went down so easily and scored the first touchdown. It's like,
well, when you give somebody a 5 to 10 yard cushion on every damn down, like it's real easy to walk down the field, which is always baffling to me. Like I saw something today that actually blew my mind because I was actually very impressed by it and very happy. Josh Norman actually jammed DeAndre Hopkins at the line. He fully jammed him. And I was like, well, look at that. Isn't that a dead art in the NFL? Like, come on, man. What do you mean? Like, my thing is as a DB, you got to want to get grimy. You got to want to get real gritty. You know what I'm saying? For that, I'm gonna make them first. I'm gonna make them first 5 yards of living hell in your life. I'm not giving you. I don't want you to breathe. If you breathe, I want to be able to suck in the air that comes out of your mouth. Like that's how suffocating it should be. But we always play off. Especially my thing is if they're in 2nd and 5 and you playing, a good 6 yards off, that's real easy for him to just chuck the ball to him. It's not that hard.
Well, that's what I don't understand sometimes in why we're running that, these type of defenses. Like the defense does really well, but sometimes I wonder, I feel like we need to play more man and more bump and run because that's the kind of defense we need to play because of the pass rush that we have. If we're going to help our pass rush get home more often, we need to give them time to get to the quarterback. And this zone stuff, they don't have time to get the quarterback because the receiver goes and sits in the zone, it's wide open, and just dump it right off to him. It's like, well, that's why we're not getting home and get as many sacks because we're not holding up in coverage at all.
Not by any stretch of the imagination.
And then we're not making any moves to help in the backfield at all. Like the front office they just went and stuck their head up their ass for the rest of the season and went to sleep. So,
well, I was really surprised they didn't try to go after Gilmore.
The weird thing is, so Gilmore was released, but then he wasn't released technically on the premise that he didn't finally meet that time frame of I guess 4 Eastern Standard Time. So they go ahead and we couldn't do anything with Gilmore. Why? Because the Patriots did him a solid. Hey, look, man, I'm from Carolina. I played ball. I'm a Gamecock. Let me go home. And they said, all right, cool, you go home. Now, if you look at Carolina's defensive backfield, when J.C. Horn gets back and Stephon Gilmore is there, you mean tell me that ain't the best DB tandem in the league? I would say so. Because J.C. Horn was balling before he broke his foot. Yeah, but that goes back to the draft. Unfortunately, we have a massive behemoth of a human being named Aaron Banks standing on our sideline. And there was a young man whose daddy played in the NFL. Oh. He was a ball hawk. Yeah, and you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
His name is Asante Samuel Jr.
Dude, I was banging the table for him on draft night, bro.
And the young man looks fantastic. And you know how I know? One of my best friends that I've known since junior high school is a Charger fan, and he laughs in my face every day, letting me know that Asante is balling. And I know he is. It drives me absolutely insane. You knew we had no corners. You knew we had certain weaknesses that we needed to fill. Hell, we came into the season wondering who the hell was going to be able to be a receiver outside of Debo and not Brandon Ayuk. You know what I mean? But the other thing is, with the DB situation, we should have drafted one, and we should have went high on one instead of drafting Aaron Banks, who's doing absolutely nothing because Daniel Brunskill is there and he's not playing anywhere near spectacular. But you know what would happen? I feel like they wouldn't even let Aaron Banks try. I feel like they put in the worthless Tom Compton, and then we'd really be screwed,
dude.
So
I don't understand Kyle and his choices sometimes because he just makes no sense. Like, how like Sherman Harley went in there and it's just like he's just boneheaded and stubborn and I'm like, dude, if the fans can see it, why does he not see it? I don't get it.
Kyle's one of those people, man. He look out for the homies.
I know, like you're telling me that Thomas, our 3rd round pick, isn't better or at least the same as Dante Johnson. Why to waste a 3rd round pick if you're on him if you're going to sit there and put Dante Johnson, who is a freaking a liability every time they throw the ball anywhere near him.
And the Amador Lenore has all but disappeared. He's been relegated to special teams.
Yeah. Where's he been?
They put him on special teams. That's the only time I ever seen him.
Well, he's been better. He's been better than than Dante Johnson too. Why is he not out? I mean, I don't get it, dude. I'm sick and tired of this front office. I'm sick and tired of the coaching. Like I'm excited to watch Lance, and that's it. I'm tired of everybody else. Like I can't tell you how. Oh my god, I could literally go off right now, and I'm angry now just talking about it. I'm fucking sick and tired of this shitty ass front office, the shitty ass freaking first round picks. When we, I mean, look at the one we took. What was it? First year that we had Lynch when we took Thomas out of Stanford with all these freaking great guys that went after, and we just wasted that fucking pick. And we seem to waste more picks than we get. We got lucky with Bosa because he's just a dog. I mean, dude,
I will tell you what happened with him too. There was an article that came out and somebody exposed the 49ers. We were not supposed to draft Solomon Thomas. Everyone was told, because our scouts go out there and scout the players for us in college, right? Our scouts came back and said, for what you're doing, he doesn't fit the system. Don't draft him. And what John and Kyle do?
They draft him.
Where's Solomon Thomas now? Buried on the depth chart with the Raiders? Not doing a damn thing? He didn't do much of nothing for us.
Who could we have drafted in that draft? Who could we have drafted in that draft? Deshaun Watson.
Oh, don't even get me started on Kyle's draft. Don't do that. Look, I'm gonna tell you. Look, my wife gonna come in here and kick me in the throat on the live stream if I get started on that, because I'll go all night on that. There's no way. Put it like this. Tavares, you want to know where Sherfield was? I'll tell you where it was, and I got great pictures of him on the sidelines.
Yep,
that's where it was.
Right next to Jimmy.
Explain to me how you watch a young man build a rapport with the receiver, and you don't put that guy on the field as a security blanket.
Yeah,
you don't say, "Hey, Trent, we're going to give you a couple extra plays," because you and Trey seem to have this undeniable connection. So instead of us trying to put Travis Benjamin, of all people, who is not a route runner and or a receiver, Travis Benjamin is there to do kick returns and punt returns, and they run the occasional go route. That is your job.
We need to throw him a go route.
Kyle, you trot out Travis Benjamin, who's shorter and smaller than Trent Sherfield, and you leave Sherfield on the sideline. You relegate him to plays where he's only blocking.
Hey, and Trent could have made that catch that Trey threw to Benjamin as well.
Why? Because he's just a little bit bigger. I mean, these are all obvious things that he's just glossing over, and I don't know whether he's trying to run this franchise into the ground because he doesn't give a shit, But the thing is, as much gripe as we have about him, he'll be here another year, even if we have a losing season. Because you know what they're gonna say? We got to at least see what he can do with the kid, based on, him having him for a full year. And I'll tell you this too. I honestly think that what Kyle is trying to do is push Jimmy's draft stock higher, and it's not working. And the thing is, they're going to keep mark my words. If Jimmy lasts through the season, they will keep Jimmy until the last moment where they have to pay him. And then they'll cut him if they don't get what they want. They have been trying to get a first-round pick for Jimmy Garoppolo, and the man ain't worth nothing but a fifth to a seventh. If somebody gave up a sixth-round pick for Stephon Gilmore injured, you really think you finna get a first-round pick for a healthy Jimmy Garoppolo? Get out of here, man.
Hell no.
Hell no.
Hell no. Yeah. I just wanted to share something real quick too. What Joe Staley said on the post game with Tequila Spikes. Did you check that out?
I love Joe. I didn't even check that out yet, but I'll check it out. I love Joe. I really do. Joe is he's a phenomenal human being, and he's hilarious as hell. I used to love the Joe show. He's funny as shit. What did he say? What's he talking about?
I'll play it right now.
Ability to get their hands up. When you saw that time and again, I think 3 different times they were able to bat balls down. 2 of them, I believe, were on 4th. And as an offensive lineman, what you can do is that if that guy stops and you stop his rush, he's going to put his hands up. So you have to literally punch punch him in the gut early and often. And so he's thinking about that because it's going to be human reaction. If you have your hands up and the guy's punching you in the gut, you're going to go down and put those hands down.
Because that's what
I was taught, dude. If you put your hands up, I would be punching you.
And I'm going to be punching you right back. Man, chill out, bro. No, but I was waiting. I just wanted to do that.
You can't mess up the suit game. You can't mess up.
Ability to get their hands up.
So
you know what? That makes a ton of damn sense.
Joe should be the offensive line coach for the 49ers.
he used to be a freaking coach for us, man. Holy shit.
Man, look, I said this a long time ago. Why isn't Jerry Rice our wide receivers coach? Why is Patrick Willis not?
Take it in a heartbeat.
Why is Patrick Willis not our linebackers coach?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we have Joe Staley as the offensive line coach, or at least some kind of special assistant in some way, shape, or form? At this point, with the way we know what I've noticed though. Whenever I watch that show, Dante Whitner is a ridiculous
straight up
knowledge. God, he is a wealth of knowledge.
Dude,
and you know what kills me? If Dante Whitner is that damn smart, bring him in.
Okay, let's
let him sit on TV and get that game for free. Bring him in.
The reason that Jerry's probably not brought in, especially with Kyle. Just think about Jerry's personality for one. The man only cares about winning and is just nuts. I mean, and if there's anybody on that coaching staff, if Jerry was on that staff that would tell Kyle to pull his head out of his ass and like get in his face, it's Jerry Rice. And Kyle don't want that. He wants everybody that's just going to fall in line and kiss his ass.
You know,
he don't want the guys. He don't want the guys that aren't going to kiss his ass. Dante Whitner's not going to kiss his ass. Jerry Rice ain't going to. Jerry Rice will get in his face and be like, "What in the effing hell are you doing right now?"
Yeah.
Like that game was against the Eagles where Jerry Rice's son said, "Oh man, you guys should see my dad right now."
On fire.
Jerry's probably going off. He's probably going off every single game, dude.
Yep.
And I guarantee if we offered Jerry a coaching spot, he would take it.
He would have took that in a heartbeat. He bleeds red and gold on a consistent basis. That's all he cares about.
Yep.
The man is at every fucking home game.
Yes, he is.
Hell, shit, you could damn near trot Jerry ass out there on the field. He could run at least a couple routes for you a few times a game. He
still has it. He still has it.
Motherfucker look like he still got it.
You know he's still running. He's still running the hill. You know he's still running the hill. Even now.
But Rice's work ethic was unquestioned. And the other thing about him was that this is why I don't like the 40, because of the underwear Olympics. You know, everything's based off of 40. But Jerry, his game speed was better than his 40.
Dude. If he caught the ball,
he can take off.
You weren't catching him.
Big long strides. It was off the chain, man. And yeah, you're right. Tarvarius right there. Yeah. Kyle only played Sermon in the fourth. That's it. I swear to you, Trey was on the sidelines. He was dressed, and I had no idea why he was not in the game.
And the one time he's in the game, he gets a big gain, and I'm like, well, he should have been in the game and going back and forth with Elijah Mitchell because they're two different kinds of runners, and you switching it up is going to just make the run game better. And he gets one touch.
One.
Yep. Like you need the change of pace with the speed and the power guy, and he's just a way better back off of the read option anyway better than Elijah Mitchell. Elijah Mitchell's better if you're going to hit him with the toss or the outside zone runs and stuff. But like with the zone read, where 100% that's Sermon's thing. It's what he did in college at Oklahoma and at Ohio State.
Yeah,
that's what you drafted him for. Why is he sitting on the sideline?
Keeping it a buck, it almost this offense today looked like a college style offense. It did not look like an NFL pro offense. And I feel like that's the reason why they just read everything so well and made themselves look good. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, at the end of the day, the reason that I'm gonna continue to praise the defense, this offense was scoring 35 points a game. We held them to 17. And we held them to 10 all the way through the fourth quarter.
Yep. Yeah.
So
And
anybody out there thinking that our defense ain't doing their job, they are. Maybe our DBs might be a little suspect here and there. I get it. I understand it. But that's something that can be worked on. But the defense has done everything that they can. It's the offense that is not providing anything for this team. And unfortunately, that falls back on Kyle Shanahan. He wants here's the weird thing. If this season is a wash, you know how Kyle Shanahan gets a pass? Well, it's Mike McDaniel. I didn't do that. You know, he's the OC. You know, I didn't do that. Really? But you got a headset on and you calling plays, and this ain't your fault?
Yep.
He looked like he wasn't even trying. I swore I thought we were coming out and it was just going to look beautiful. A lot of pre-motion stuff. Because I don't worry about Trey doing the pre-motion stuff and everything. I think he's fine. He's so smart, and he can read a defense. He did it today. He called a nice audible. But I was like, okay, well, we're going to have a lot of moving around, getting Debo going, moving around, Ayuk moving around, and we're going to do that and help the run game. And we're just going to run, and we're going to make them stop the run. And we never did that. And I was just like,
we barely got Debo going. He didn't even get involved until like mid-first quarter. And that was really confusing on why we were not throwing him the ball. This is the most dynamic receiver on the team that we have, and he's not getting the ball. And then once again, Brandon Ayuk, like he didn't get much. Let me see what he had for targets, because it's really confusing. So Debo had 9 targets. Everybody else, Juice had 4. Brandon Ayuk had 4. Dwelly had 2, and he caught both of his. Mohamed Sanu was 2 for 3, but he dropped that crucial one that would have gave us a first down and kept us going.
On 3rd and 15.
On 3rd and 15, he had the first down. Really.
Beautiful ball too. Beautiful ball.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's 3rd and 15. I'm not expecting Jimmy to get the first down. I don't know how many times Trey threw balls on 3rd and longs, and I'm like, dude, like he's just literally showing us what's gonna come when the better he gets. And I'm like, our coach is literally holding him back right now. And that's what it felt like. It literally felt like he's being held back. And the biggest thing I think is, honestly, I think Kyle is so stubborn. He just does what he wants to do, regardless of what is best. Because I think that's why he's talking about Jimmy, and he's proven it twice. I don't care what anybody says. He cost the Falcons that Super Bowl, and he cost us our Super Bowl. Because if he runs the fucking ball with a 10 freaking point lead and doesn't make Jimmy pass it a million fucking times when we have the lead, we win the game.
He was trying to prove that Jimmy was a better passer than people were giving him credit for. At the end of the day, if Raheem the Dream Mostert ran the ball down the goddamn Packers' throat, why would you not run him until he can't run no more? I wouldn't have passed the ball if I didn't have to.
Against the worst rushing defense in Green Bay's too. Remember that. That's
what I'm saying. And this rush defense versus the Cardinals is stupid suspect. There's nothing about them that's scary. Their rush defense is trash. Their defensive line only consists of Chandler Jones and J.J. Watt. Now, mind you, Watt looked all right this game. He looked a little bit better, but that was just, I mean, that's like what, one game out of how many? Like, it doesn't make sense that he is not, like, you talk about the Super Bowl. Why is our GM in the press box doing this before halftime? Why is he doing that? Because he's thinking like a coach. He's thinking if I was in the game and my head coach was there, I would assume safely he's going to call a timeout so we can push the ball down the field, either get 7 or get 3. That's what that's what any normal coach would do. Why? Because you're playing Patrick fucking Mahomes, the comeback king. I don't want to give Patrick Mahomes room to breathe. I want to suffocate his ass. And you can't suffocate him if you give him room to breathe. You basically had your hand on his throat and were watching the life leave his eyes, and somebody called you and you decided to loosen up your grip. And the minute you loosened your grip, Patrick Mahomes made you pay. You cannot. I always say this. You have to have a Belichickian mindset. Bill Belichick doesn't care if he's up by 50. If I can score on you again, I will. I don't need to stop. Don't tell me to stop. Don't tell me about no damn sportsmanship. I want to kick your ass until I can't kick it no more.
Yep.
And that's what Kyle doesn't have in him.
He just I don't get it. He just makes in big situations too, especially he makes the wrong decisions. But I don't know if it's just he makes the wrong decisions or if he's just so damn stubborn. He does what he wants to do. Because like going back to the Super Bowl, which I know it's over talked about by now, but the last time we ran the ball in that game when we were up still, we almost broke an 80-yard touchdown. He got that 5-yard run and he got arm tackled and knocked down. If he doesn't get that arm tackle, he's gone. It's an 80-yard touchdown. The game they're not coming back. We're up. The game's over.
Yeah.
We get that 5-yard pass and I'm like, okay. I remember sitting there watching. Okay, we got this. Let's run the ball again. And then we just pass 2 more times and Jimmy throws 2 incomplete passes and it's done. And then
why did Tyrann Mathieu came out after the game and said, "I'm glad they stopped running the ball. We couldn't stop it." You got one of their best defensive players telling you that we had no answer for what you were doing, but you decided to veer away from it because you tried to prove a point about a quarterback who can barely stay on the damn field. You're not making sense. Like at the end of the day, man, I'm honestly. If this is a losing season and it's a losing season with Kyle and Jimmy at the helm, my questions have nothing to do with this roster. It has something to do with leadership. And I'm sorry, John Lynch, you need to get your head coach, pull him to the side and tell him, look, man, I don't know what you're doing or what you're thinking, but it's time for me to take over the reins. I'm drafting what we need to draft because if you look at Kyle's draft picks, had they not all been suspect, Ayuk seemed to be a bright light in a dark tunnel.
That's his guy.
And that's his guy. And now this year, not so much. He drafted Joe Williams, who quit on Utah. Quit. He didn't want to play football. And you had to have him. You go draft him. He never played it down for us. Wasted pick. Dante Pettis looked all right in the latter part of his first year. After that, mentally weak. Wasted pick. Look at Jalen Hurd. Everybody jumped on this Jalen Hurd bandwagon and was loving on him and everything. And I told people the man is as fragile as an egg. He cannot stay healthy. There's nothing against him personally. I don't know him from a can of paint. But at the end of the day, if you're on my team, I want you to be on the field producing and trying to make plays. And two plays in a Cowboys game from 2 years ago in a preseason game at that meant nothing. Ain't doing shit for me. I'm not jumping on that bandwagon. The man can't stay healthy. He needs to just go ahead and either find another team or call it a day because all of your injuries are non-contact. Your back is so bad you couldn't fly to the damn Super Bowl. You tore your ACL doing nothing on the sidelines. And now when you play, when they asked Kyle last time about him, he said, what's going on with Jalen Hurd? Oh, he's just not there yet. But randomly, you're talking about if Jalen Hurd is healthy, he's the best receiver on the team. Really? Because the operative word there is if. He's not healthy. Why is he still here? We cut a bunch of other people and we still got Jalen Hurd sitting, we put him on IR. Why? Why are you continually holding on to people? When you were talking about we could have drafted Deshaun Watson. We decided to draft instead of Deshaun Watson? CJ Beathard.
Yep.
Drafted CJ Beathard. And we went up to go get CJ Beathard because Kyle saw something in him. Let me think about this. You had a love affair with Kirk Cousins. That was that serious bromance. You had to have Kirk Cousins. You didn't think there was a better. You wanted Kirk Cousins because you thought that there was no better quarterback in the NFL. And what has Kirk Cousins done for any team lately outside of padding his stats and getting paid?
He'd still be better than Jimmy, to be fair.
I mean, I guess, but at the end of the day, my thing is Kirk Cousins had a pretty good roster over there in Minnesota. Mm-hmm. Nothing. That defense was very solid. Nothing. Kirk Cousins ain't winning you no championship.
That's true.
He's never going to win a ring. I know that. But
yep.
Kyle, if he really truthfully did what we say he did, come on, bro, you need to be fired. If you really did that, And I'm not saying that, it's going to happen, but you can't set a kid up for failure like that because you're so sold on another player. And I kid you not, I'll tell you this. I was in a Spaces the other day, and you know how George Kittle liked the whole tweet from Marcus Golden? Y'all hear about that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I said, I watch I Am Athlete with Brandon Marshall and Ocho and all those other guys. I love that shit. That those guys are fucking hilarious, but they speak a lot of truth. So Brandon Marshall has this segment where he says, "Let's get messy." So I got a little messy. I said, "Okay, look at it like this. What if George loves Jimmy so much? He tells coach, man, I got a calf injury. Can't go. And you purposely miss the game because you don't want Trey to be your quarterback. You love Jimmy that much. I mean, we know you got up on the podium and you had the shirt on with him in his damn boxer briefs. I'm not doing that for none of my homies. I believe you me. I love some of my dogs to death, but I'm not getting up anywhere with a shirt that has your picture on it where you walking around in boxer brief. No, thank you. That's not my thing. I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? You get up on the podium and say straight up, he's a bad texter. He doesn't call people back. All of these things. He throws you hospital balls on a continual basis, but you still got love for this dude? Why? And you can't go up there and promote Trey. You can't look at Trey and say, you know what, man, I'm going, dog. Don't even worry about it. I'm gonna battle this out for you. I'm gonna make, if anything, Trey, I'm out there. I'm gonna help our run game. I might not be able to catch a lot of passes and do a lot for you, dog, but I'm gonna make sure I'm there for you. I'll block a couple of people to make sure that you can get outside to do things. But why wouldn't you want to help your young QB out? Like, that's what I'm saying. That just, and that to me was, I mean, that's all speculation, but I don't know. You didn't want to go.
A hot take. That's a hot take. It's a good one.
I tell you, that's all it is.
So I don't. Did you guys see George's story this morning?
No.
On Instagram. So I'm gonna show you right now. Let's see. Oh, right there. So he posted that today. It says, "Go get him
I saw that
today, young." So I mean, what do you think, Dion? You still think?
I mean, like you can post, anybody can post a picture.
Yeah,
anybody can post a picture, bro. Like that don't mean nothing. You liked the picture yesterday. You gave no explanation for it. You know what I'm saying? And then you go ahead and put that up. I mean, that, you tell them go get him. Why aren't you out there battling to be on the field? I understand sometimes we have to protect George from himself because he will get injured. I mean, hell, for God's sakes, he's playing with a torn labrum and said he'll never get surgery on it until he retires. So
yeah,
I don't know, man. I mean, this game was set up for Trey Lance to fail, and there's nobody that can tell me different. I think we all agree on that. There was nothing here that showed me that there was going to be a dynamic game plan that featured his skill set. And at the same time, why don't you give him the people that help him? Why would we not see Juwan Jennings dressed? Why would we not see Trent Sherfield on the field along with Juwan Jennings? You know what I'm saying? They subbed Debo out I don't know how many times. Why wouldn't you put in Trent Sherfield? Why wouldn't you have Juwan Jennings? You're gonna dress Travis Benjamin. Travis ain't no damn receiver. Everybody knows that. I mean, his receiving numbers are probably trash. And it just didn't make sense, man. It just Tarvarius. Yes, sir. Tarvarius. Mullins got Kittle paid, not Jimmy.
Yep.
That is complete
facts.
He
great facts.
Set the record with Mullins. Remember?
It was Mullins and better
with Mullins.
Mm-hmm.
He let Kittle destroy the Raiders in that game too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like you got all this love for a dude who don't even bother to call. I tell you right now, man, I got a real small circle of my homies, like my day ones, and I mess with them. But I tell you this, I know who will call me, and I know who won't.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I know if I get in the jam, I know who to make a phone call to. I for damn sure know if I call one person, they may not answer the phone. I love him to death, but he might not pick up the damn phone.
Yeah.
My buddy, he can't. And he will.
So the fact that it does seem like freaking Kyle set him up to fail, was it all crap when they said that he fell in love with him like in January? And did we actually, should we question if we actually originally traded up for Lance, or was it actually Mac Jones? Like
because remember they said there was a rumor that he wanted Mac Jones, but the organization told him, no, we ain't doing that shit. Yeah. Like if you're going up that high, you're gonna go get someone else, but you're not going to get him. That was a rumor. And to me, that would make sense because Mac Jones was where was Mac Jones drafted? 12. So why do you think he wouldn't fall all the way to us? Like, I mean, at a bare minimum, what do? Tell Bill Belichick, swap picks and give him like a 4th or a 5th or a 6th or something. And then, just in case you think he's going to draft him because Mac Jones was the prototypical quarterback to go ahead and succeed, Brady. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, if that's the case, and then we're saying that he set him up to fail and that he's not wanting to name him a starter or start him from the get-go, which he should have just started from the get-go. It makes sense that if that's not who he wanted and they told him no, that because of his ego and everything, that's why he's acting the way he is. So each thing explains the other. It's just whether or not it's true, but each thing that's happening that we're saying is backed up by other things that have happened. So, it could all be just a hot take and none of it could be true. But if it is true, there's evidence to back it up.
Yeah, exactly. I think we're going to go ahead and almost wrap it up here. Any last things you guys want to say before we wrap it up at all? What are we going to expect in 2 weeks?
I think if it's Kyle's choice to start Jimmy, I think for one, I think Lynch is going to be pissed because he's already sick of Jimmy. You could see it with him in the box at the Green Bay game. My wife watches football with me sometimes and doesn't really understand the game. And when we were sucking and they showed John Lynch, my wife's like, "Oh shit, he's pissed." He's getting sick of it. I'm pretty sure he's sick and tired. I mean, if Jimmy does come back in, Kyle's going to lose the whole fan base for one, or 90% of them. I think Lynch is going to have had enough. So I don't know. I'm interested to see what happens these next 2 weeks. Jimmy better not be put back in there. That's all I can say. If he is, then I'm done with Kyle. Fire his ass. If Jimmy plays the next game, fucking fire his ass. That's all I got to say. I'm done. He cannot fucking make me like him ever again. I'm done. Lynch can go find somebody. I don't, and I guarantee Lynch is going to feel the same way, to be honest. So I don't know. If Jimmy plays, dude, I'm going to lose it. It's going to be hard for me to even want to watch the game. I'm going to want to boycott it. I'm going to be so mad.
Yeah, our next 3 games are against the Colts, the Bears, and the Cardinals again. And we have the Cardinals at home. If we somehow find a way to allow DeForest Buckner in his revenge game to be able to beat us, and Jimmy is under center, you will finally see the media jump on board with us as podcasters and as YouTube personalities, and they will start to say, "What are you doing, Kyle?"
Yep.
Because if we lose to them, and then the thing is, see, we would have got flexed in the Sunday night had we won this game, because we would play the Colts. When we play the Colts, I think that's a Sunday nighter, isn't it? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Let me go check the schedule. I believe the Colts is Sunday night. I'm just going to check.
Sunday night game.
It is. It's so next time you see us, we'll be on primetime. We'll be on television. We could have wound up on Sunday night 2 weeks in a row. You know why? Trey Lance versus Justin Fields. Don't you understand the magnitude of that? How big, the ratings, all of that. It's real easy. If they looked at that and Trey Lance came out and the game plan was correct and he balled out, then you go into the bye week with a W. You come out, you smash the Colts, punch them right in the mouth. Next thing you know, it sets up for what? Hey, man, look, we might have to move another one of y'all primetime games, but I cannot. The league looks at it and says, I see money. 2 big-ass dollar signs walking. Trey Lance versus Justin Field. The Bears. Like this storyline you could create, I could create that storyline off the top of my dome right now and sell it to anybody, and I guarantee you they'd buy it.
Yeah, exactly.
Just off of those names. But we can't do that if we got Jimmy on the field. If we play the Bears and Jimmy's on the field, we're going to stay in our same time slot. There's going to be nothing changed because no one cares about Jimmy Garoppolo. Stephen A. Smith slaughtered him last year and slaughtered him the year before when we went to the Super Bowl and told everybody it was the defense and the running game. And a lot of people were like, man, you got to get off his back, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, it's the truth. And we just didn't see it. So my only thing is, in this bye week, Kyle, get in your bag. And if you really, really want us to believe in you, draw up a real game plan and put the people in that he can say that he can actually throw to. Juwan Jennings should not be inactive. He should be active. You should have left Travis Benjamin's ass on the practice squad where the hell he belonged, because he ain't do nothing. He was just out there looking like a man trying to hold on to his goddamn hairline with them dreads.
Yep.
Like it's not. You gotta let.
I just want to say one more thing. So the more I watched lately, Kyle's not anyway. He's not his dad, like at all.
No.
Like that's, and I always thought, okay, well, his dad was so great when his dad was at his best, and I figured, I always expect Kyle to be like his dad, and he's not. And at first I thought that was going to be. The more I see, the more he's not, because Mike Shanahan would do whatever it takes to win, and he would make the adjustment to whatever it took to win. He won 2 Super Bowls. He's like Kyle in a way where he's a passing guy. He wants to pass the ball. What did he do when he won his 2 Super Bowls?
He ran.
He ran the fucking ball. That's not his offense, but he did it because he knew how he was going to win.
There's a guy by the name of Terrell Davis that he's happy about.
With an old John Elway, who was near retirement, won back-to-back Super Bowls because he ran the ball and he adapted to what was best for the team. But that's where I don't know. He's not his dad, and he's never gonna live up to what his dad
The
was.
comparison I would give you is Jordan and LeBron. Everybody tries to compare Jordan and LeBron. You cannot. You know why? The only person you can ever compare Jordan to is unfortunately dead. His name is Kobe Bryant. And you know why? Kobe had killer instinct. The Mamba mentality is basically Jordan. Jordan did not want to play with you. He wanted to get you. He was out to get you. If you ever seen that I forgot what the name of it is, but it's on Netflix right now. The little joint they did on Jordan and all the times where they were winning the championship. I forgot what it's called. But if you watch that, the man literally coughed on the pizza so nobody could eat it. Jordan was an asshole. He really was.
Yeah.
But the last dance.
Jordan had killer instinct. Kobe had killer instinct. LeBron don't have that. Why you think LeBron been to several championships and then lost? Because he didn't want the ball at the end. He didn't want to be that guy that you had to depend on. It took him time to develop that. The only difference between LeBron is that LeBron got some rings and Kyle don't. But Kyle doesn't. He doesn't have that. He's not his dad. And I guarantee you, if his dad was sitting him down, he would look at him and tell him, son, you need to change up your game plan and you need to start doing things a different way. I think you're letting your ego get ahead of you and that you're not putting the team first. But that's all I got to say, man. This was honestly, a disaster.
His dad probably told him after the Super Bowl, like, son, why the fuck did you stop running the ball?
Yeah. No, I mean, even here too, like, I guarantee you he was probably telling him something about after today's loss.
Mike's one of the greatest coaches ever. So
yeah,
like I'll say it, Mike is one of the best ever.
If I'm not mistaken, wasn't he our OC when we won our last damn Super Bowl?
He was the OC, dude. He was He was there in the 80s with Walsh, dude. He's one of like
He's from the
legit
coaching tree.
because there's like a bunch of coaches that are, were with Walsh, but he's one of the like up close and personal with Walsh.
Yeah.
Back then, like one of his guys. Him and Holmgren were his offensive
Him and
guys.
Holmgren were there. Yeah, man. That's why you saw the Pack do what they did for all them years. Why? Because they learned. They knew what it was. The system was there. And they took the system and just made it their own. You know how many Kyle Shanahan spinoff systems we got? They run it in LA. You know what I'm saying? And that's the sad thing, man. We can't even we letting the spinoffs do better than we doing, and we got the homegrown joint. That's like saying that's like somebody saying, I got the chronic, but I'm gonna go ahead and smoke this dirt weed anyway.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. I think we're gonna wrap it up. I just want to go ahead before we get off. Shout out our sponsor. Go to mybookie.ag and sign up. Use our promo code HIVE. You'll get the first 100 depositing customers will receive an extra $20 in casino chips and MyBookie Casino on the top of the double deposit bonus. So go ahead, guys. Go to mybookie.ag and sign up and use promo code HIVE and go from there. It's wonderful website if you're into betting, and just get to betting.
Hey, man, and then the other thing is they match your deposit dollar for dollar up to $1,000. So you make sure you go ahead and put in as much as you are able to possibly put in up to that 1G, and they'll match it for you. And then at the same time, you bet on football, you bet on basketball, you bet on baseball, you bet on any sports you can think of. They just had the Wilder and Fury fight over the weekend, which I'm pretty sad about because I didn't want Deontay to lose, but it is what it is. But you can bet on a variety of different things, people. So definitely head over to mybookie.ag, get your bet on, gamble a little something if you can. You know what I'm saying? And I guess, like we said, it's definitely a great platform for you to be able to go ahead and take that chance. And, hey, it's okay to win every once in a while and be the man or the woman.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Dion. Appreciate that. So once again, hit the like and subscribe button on YouTube. Follow us on all social media platforms, and especially follow Mr. Dion himself, Niner Gang Podcast, on his YouTube channel and Twitter as well. Is Swifty, right? Is your
yes, sir, on Twitter at Swifty. Yep.
All right, and once again, guys, thank you for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it. It was a great show, and we'll catch you again next time. Peace out.
Sir.